Over the years, I've spoken to many women, and one of the major questions they ask me is, how do I lose this belly fat? Or how do I lose this fat around my waist or my back fat? And there's three things that you really need to understand before you embark upon any kind of diet or meal plan. So the first thing is you need to know is what are the calories that you are actually eating today. So when you know how much you're eating, what you need to be able to do is to reduce the amount of food that you're eating. So let's say you use some kind of calorie counter app and you put the food in that you've been eating and you're eating 2,000 calories. So what you need to do is be able to reduce that. Well, we don't want to reduce it drastically. We just want to reduce it by 100 or 200 calories per day. So what that means is for that first couple of weeks, you'll try and instead of consuming 2,000 calories, you'll start to consume 1,800 calories, and this will help you to slowly but surely bring your calorie deficit down lower over a period of time. You don't want to do it drastically because you'll be really hungry, you'll be really tired, and you won't be able to sustain the program or the calorie deficit. And now the second thing you need to know about is what your food is made up of. Now, maybe some of you have heard about macros, but a lot of people haven't. Now, what macros are, it's just what is inside that food, what it's made out of. So it's either proteins, it's fats, or it's carbs. So what we want to do is, in particular if you've started on an exercise program that includes strength training, you need to understand how those three types of food sources affect your energy levels, your weight loss, and of course your muscle strength and muscle growth. Now, protein foods are foods like meat, fish, chicken, cheese, yogurt, foods that are going to help build your muscle after doing some strength training, but also foods that are going to replace the trillions of cells a day that die in your body naturally and normally. Now, that's the first thing you need to do is eat more protein. Sometimes women are a bit afraid of protein, but protein is really essential. And then you need to make sure that you cut back on fats and decrease carbohydrates. We want all the good fats, like the fats from yogurts and from butter and cheese and milk. We want all those good fats. They're good for your brain. They're good for your thyroid. So we don't want to eliminate them totally. We want to keep a few fats in our diet every day. And we also want to cut back on carbs. Now, this is really important, cutting back on carbs, because when we eat carbohydrates in the form of bread, rice, cereals, sugars, fruits, then that is converted into glycogen, which goes into our muscles to give us energy. But it's unfortunate that we eat way too much of these carbs. And so what happens, our body has this amazing process of taking the sugar, and if the muscles say, bugger off, we don't need any more sugar in here, it converts it to fat. It actually stops you from overloading your muscles and getting into serious strife. And finally, one of the best things you can do for body fat loss is walking. Walking 10 to 15,000 steps per day. Now, when we're doing some strength training, we want to make sure that we keep our muscle mass. And as you age, it's harder and harder to keep and maintain and build muscle mass. So we want to really look after that because it's so important to women, in particular women over 50. So what we want to do is we want to maintain that muscle mass. We don't want to deteriorate it. We maintain it and increase it by doing strength training. And then what we do is we walk for 10 to 15,000 steps a day. And what happens is we just bypass the whole system that uses glycogen, and the system of walking uses body fat as a source of energy. So just to recap, these are the three major things you need to do in order to lose the belly fat, the side fat, and the back fat. So the first thing is you need to know what calories you're eating now, because whatever you're eating now is obviously adding more weight to your body. And then you need to go in a calorie deficit it. But unless you know and monitor what you're eating now, you cannot understand or reduce that amount. So you have to be quite particular. The second thing is you need to know what macros you are eating so that you have a majority of your food in protein, and then some fats, and then finally some carbohydrates. And the third thing is to walk while you in between doing strength training, because when you walk, especially if you do a fasted walk like first thing in the morning, your body doesn't need to tap into the glycogen stores in order to walk. It will tap into your body fat, convert it to glucose, and then you'll have that energy. I hope this really helps. If you would like some more information about macros, then just comment in the bottom in the comment section macros, and I will send you a little video that has a little bit more detail about macros. Have a great day. Bye.